This is Vintage Touch Decor with Soul, where timeless charm meets inspired design. Today, step into a modern Australian farmhouse tour, 360 degrees scenic views and hidden courtyard retreat. We'll explore how classic warmth blends with contemporary lines and wide-open landscapes. If cozy elegance speaks to your heart, you're in the right place. Please subscribe, tap like, and share your favorite detail in the comments to support our senior-friendly community. Before we begin, imagine the hush of the countryside, the glint of sunlight on textured timber, and a breeze crossing paddocks to meet a courtyard oasis. This home balances sturdy practicality with soulful touches, stone, wood, linen, layered for longevity. I'll guide you room by room, highlighting comfort, accessibility, and easy maintenance for everyday living with grace. As we tour, notice how small styling choices, vintage ceramics, aged brass, woven rugs, create a story you can feel. We'll talk layout, flow, and how to make a home feel welcoming for all ages, especially our cherished senior viewers. If something inspires you, comment with your favorite idea. Your likes and subscribes help us keep creating heartfelt, helpful content. This farmhouse is sited with intention, set high enough to capture long, cinematic sweeps of the Australian countryside in every direction. The absence of visual clutter, no neighboring roofs, no busy roads, allows the eye to rest and the body to exhale. This is design that begins with land and honors it softly. Rather than dominate the environment, the architecture recedes. Glazing frames views like artwork while deep eaves shield against glare and heat. The surrounding paddocks move like fabric in the breeze, creating a living backdrop that changes hour by hour, golden mornings, blue dusk, and shadow play across the hills. The placement of windows, paths, and even outdoor seating has been choreographed to extend the experience outward. Whether you're washing vegetables at the sink, reading beside a window, or walking toward the courtyard, you remain tethered to the horizon. Here, inside and outside do not compete, they converse. The exterior earns its quiet authority through restraint, long horizontal rooflines, honest materials, and a silhouette that feels rooted rather than performative. There are no unnecessary flourishes, every plane and proportion is edited for calm. This is modern design without harshness, softened by traditional farmhouse cues and rural stillness. Cladding materials, often a medley of timber, masonry, and matte steel, age gracefully outdoors. As seasons shift, these surfaces develop tone and patina, allowing the house to visually settle into its setting instead of reading as newly built. Simplicity here is not minimalism, but maturity and longevity. The structure's form is also deeply practical. Wide overhangs temper the sun, linear plans reduce mechanical demands, and durable finishes simplify maintenance. The home's restrained profile shields the courtyard from wind, while large openings preserve the drama of the views. Beauty, in this case, is the byproduct of intelligent restraint. At the heart of this home lies its most unexpected gesture, a hidden courtyard tucked from wind and open sightlines, offering privacy without sacrificing light. It serves as the emotional counterweight to the expansive 360-degree views outside, creating a human-scale refuge for reading, gardening, or quiet morning tea. The courtyard is deliberately hard-edged in structure but soft in experience. Timber, stone, and rendered walls are moderated by foliage, dappled light, water vessels, potted herbs, and fabric textures. The enclosure moderates temperature, buffers sound, and creates a pause, an interior breath, between public and private zones. Circulation paths from living areas, bedrooms, and kitchen all visually or physically touch this courtyard, reinforcing it as a central anchor instead of a decorative leftover. No matter where you stand, there is a conscious choreography of compression and release. Moving from panorama to enclosure is part of the home's rhythm. The entry has been composed not as a point, but as a sequence, a slow unwinding from outside to inside. Instead of stepping abruptly into a room, you're guided by softened thresholds, shaded verandas, recessed doors, warm textures, and deliberate pauses that let your senses adjust before the interior reveals itself. Circulation is intuitive, not forced. Corridors are aligned with light rather than walls, and transitional spaces connect to views or the courtyard so movement never feels wasted. Even the turn from public to private zones is handled with grace. Subtle narrowing, light shifts, and material changes cue what words never need to say. This choreography is especially thoughtful for senior living. Fewer sharp turns, wider passes, good sight lines, and stable underfoot materials without glare or clutter. Flow here is not merely efficiency, it is dignity, hospitality, and comfort translated into architecture. You feel cared for just by the way the house moves you. The living room acts as the social anchor, generous but not grand, warm but not heavy. Its proportions encourage conversation and lingering, with seating arranged to foster eye contact rather than face only the view. Comfort here is designed, not accidental. Layered textiles, soft acoustics, and human-scaled furnishings invite rest without formality. What makes this space extraordinary is how the window wall behaves more like a frame than an opening. The landscape is treated like art, edited, composed, and allowed to breathe. You're sheltered inside, yet you remain visually immersed in the living geography of wind, light, and distance beyond the glass. Vintage pieces are folded in with restraint, an antique chest repurposed as a coffee table, a time-worn rug grounding the seating group, brass floor lamps with patina instead of shine. These elements temper the modern shell, adding memory and humanity without cluttering the calm. The kitchen and dining zone is planned for both everyday ease and gracious hosting. Workflows are direct, everything within reach, with clear sightlines across the room and beyond to the view. Surfaces are timeless and matte, avoiding glare, aging gracefully and inviting touch rather than polishing. This is a room built to be used, not merely looked at. The dining area is placed where conversation and scenery meet. Chairs are comfortable for long meals, not just quick ones. Pendant lighting is warm and low, wrapping the table in a pool of intimacy even when the rest of the house recedes into evening shadow. Meals here feel both casual and ceremonial. Vintage integration is subtle but intentional. A farmhouse hutch holding heirloom china, mismatched ceramics layered with linen runners, a patinated breadboard leaned casually against modern tile. These touches prevent newness from feeling sterile and allow personality to live in plain sight. The bedrooms are designed not as showpieces but as sanctuaries, quieter in palette, gentler in proportion, and shielded from harsh light or noise. Every decision supports rest, upholstered headboards for comfort, layered drapery to soften sound, and views framed at sitting height so the horizon greets you without demanding attention. These spaces favor tactile comfort over visual drama. Wool underfoot, linen against skin, and timber warmed by indirect light create a setting that regulates mood and nervous system alike. Here, beauty is not about being impressed, it is about being soothed, cocooned, and received by a room that expects nothing from you. Vintage notes appear in measured strokes: a carved bedside, a lace runner folded over a chest, a porcelain lamp with age in its glaze. These details do not steal focus, they cradle memory, making the room feel personal instead of staged, lived in rather than styled. This farmhouse succeeds because it privileges feel over flash. Materials are chosen not for glamour but for how they mature with time. Timber that wears gently, stone that shows seasons, and lime wash surfaces that record light like skin records memory. Longevity and patina are design virtues in this home, not defects to be concealed. Texture becomes the visual language: matte over gloss, woven over synthetic, grain over paint. These surfaces soften sound, absorb glare, and invite touch, creating a sensory calm that cannot be achieved with flat, glossy, high-impact finishes. Here, tactility is not decorative, it is atmospheric. Vintage placements support the material story: a scrubbed pine stool as a landing spot, crockery with crazing instead of polish, a timber-framed mirror clouded with age. These pieces speak gently, reinforcing the home's philosophy: beauty is something you live with, not something you stage. Light is not treated as an accident here, it is sculpted. Deep overhangs filter glare, clear-story windows pull in skylight without heat, and cross-ventilation is engineered through carefully paired openings. The result is calm luminosity, never harsh brightness, allowing the house to feel alive through time rather than artificially lit into submission. Thermal comfort is achieved architecturally, not by machines. Shading, orientation, and insulation do most of the work, so mechanical cooling becomes a backup, not a crutch. Breezes are given a route, walls act as shields, materials retain or release heat depending on season. Elegance here includes invisible engineering. For seniors and long-term living, this matters enormously. Consistent daylight improves mood and cognition, stable temperatures support rest and health, and passive comfort lowers bills. This house is future-proof not because of gadgets, but because it respects how bodies and climates actually behave. Styling in this home is intentionally quiet. Nothing screams, nothing competes. Pieces are chosen for soul and service: a crock of dried branches, a nubby throw over the arm of a chair, a weathered stool functioning as a side table. The decor is not staged for cameras but lived for comfort and memory. Instead of new decor imitating age, true vintage is used sparingly and wisely. One worn chest can warm an entire room more authentically than a dozen store-bought replicas. The restraint keeps the house modern in structure, yet human in spirit, and this balance is what prevents farmhouse style from feeling kitsch. Color is handled with tenderness: dusty neutrals, muted greens, biscuit whites, tobacco browns, washed blues, hues found in soil, shadow, bark, linen. Nothing glossy, nothing loud. The palette whispers, allowing texture and daylight to carry the emotion of the room instead. We began with wide horizons and ended in quiet sanctuaries, a home that proves modern design can still feel warm, slow, and deeply human. From the panoramic placement to the hidden courtyard, from tactile finishes to vintage restraint, this Australian farmhouse shows how architecture can serve both beauty and lived comfort. If this tour inspired you, please like this video to help more people find it. Your engagement truly sustains this channel and this community, especially our cherished senior viewers who return here for calm, clarity, and decor guidance rooted in soul, not trends. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss future tours and styling lessons grounded in timeless elegance. Before you leave, tell me in the comments, which part of this farmhouse spoke to you the most: the 360 degrees views, the hidden courtyard, the kitchen warmth, or the vintage styling moments? Your comment matters more than you think. It tells YouTube this video was worth watching and helps our Vintage Touch family grow.